Okay. This is a warning for anyone in England. I haven't spelt this right. Right, it's all planned. I'm going to screen share this article if I can get into this. If anyone's popping in the chat, we should doubt it this time of night. I've got to go back out as soon as my wheelchair is charged up and get my cash, some of the cash at the bank. This is about to kick off really soon. Educateyourself.org about the NK. I've got to find another tab, bear with me. First, need a background to YNWO. New World Order. New World Order. What is that? Right. The Project Bluebeam is ready to kick off. That is going to be, in conjunction with the technology and the skies. Right. Bill Cooper, the late William Bill Cooper, in the 90s already warned the world in his broadcasts and his books about the Rockefellers, the banking 13 bloodline families, the 21 goals of Illuminati, and we the people hold the power. Yet there's now advancement in technology. This is all about the minds, the NK Ultra trauma-based mind control, these globalist elites, right? So there's a website. Oh yeah, I've got to share this. So I just thought I'd add that to it. So this is what's hitting the UK mainstream. Don't believe everything you read in mainstream media. Be done with. So this is actually a limited company, right? So it comes up. There's no such thing as government. Okay, government's by consent. If you don't know about trust and equity law, then you will comprehend who is really in charge. In the sense of we the people who live in souls. There's a satanic, demonic, the attacks really, really bad. At the moment, I mean, things going on. Anyway, there's announcement plans to reduce the civil servant jobs by 91%. This is because they already have the AI, robotic computer systems in place, automated. Proposals to cut redundancy pay by 25%. A string there are a lot of England. Okay, these are limited companies. Dun and Bradstreet.co.uk. You can research and type in the names of these places and what's known. The Association Society of Locomotive Engineers and Firemen, ASLEF Union, also announced today, yes it was, let me just check the date of the article before I do anything, 7 hours ago, okay? To do with the comets of Planet X, Winwood, Nibiru coming hitting Earth towards December and January onwards. I won't go into that right now. Around 100,000 civil servants voted to strike over pay conditions. Don't forget, depending what job they have, they pay a fee to this companies. Now, you've got an image outside Department for Business Energy, which is a joke, Industrial Strategy in 2021. That was. But the article is today's, well, yesterday's date now. So, 1, 6. So if you add the letters together, 6, 2, 1, it makes 9. Turn that upside down, makes 6. Freemason, masonry. I can't check. If anyone's chatting, I can't. I doubt anyone's popped in because they hacked me at 20 to 1 in the morning. I've only got enough in the bank to just cover my direct debit, so I'm not going to do that right away. Right. I knew this would happen anyway. Yeah. Yeah. There's things I'm aware of, but I can't go into at the moment. Medbeds are here already. Technology. Let me just stick to this article. Details will be announced on 18th of November. That is next week, I believe. It could be the week after. I think it's ending next week, the week after. I have to check my calendar. If there are no substitute government proposals. In a statement, the PCS Public Sector Union. Oh, I'm not going to wear that scarf again. Right, General Secretary, this guy, their members have spoken, and if there isn't a government, by the way, repeat, it's not a government, they're companies. So it's about the terms and conditions of your contract law. So they're misleading the public in the article. Oh, I'm getting. So, over an hour. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Oh, I'm rest at 22 something at night. Right now I've got, gosh, trying to get some bloody peace of mind. It's not great having your head bloody radiated. Let me try and do something at the moment. My feet are getting radiated. Oh, my hair. Right. It doesn't matter if I'm outside or inside the bloody place. Oh, yeah. The frequencies are strong like anything. Something I don't normally like doing. Right. Okay, I'm just going to sidetrack with this information. I haven't uploaded the video. I've been too knackered. Oh, my head feels like it's on fire. I'm getting radiated microwave frequencies, 5G, extremely high. So anybody outside, warning, inside, warning. Try and get some shielding around your whole body. Wow, it's frustrating. Okay, so just to recap. So I know about certain subjects I've learnt over the years, right? Practically. The goddess, every town and city in England, first-hand knowledge of the truth of the facts on record is this. I have the printouts, I have the evidence for a lot of information. Had to learn these things. Why do they have to target me and shut me up? Because I'm just warning anyone out there. You educate yourself, you don't cause any harm to another man or woman. You're not causing common law offences. And you're not in breach of your honours, your intentions of contracts, offers of goods and services. But I have been blocked, okay, for a long time. This is called blacklisting. International targeted individuals. It is like a military operation. And the falsifying of documents is unlawful. Satanism. Okay, you Satanists out there, you do the rituals and do what you're doing to innocent individuals and kids. Your time's up. The star seeds, people with the spirit, the soul, essence about them, are here. All right, we're ready for battle, in the spiritual battle. Not physically. I don't encourage any that type of action against anyone, but spiritually speaking. So this article goes into, you need to read between the lines, okay? The terms and conditions offer or contracts of these individuals, right, is going to have a backlash. About over an hour outside. In England, is actually a limited company. I took on this managing directors, the CEOs years ago about the harassment, all sorts of things they targeted me with. But you have an ambulance in an hour when all over mainstream UK media that's saying people's waiting in ambulances, all these hours, people sleeping on the floors of A&E buildings, hospitals. They're exaggerating it all, allegedly. I'm going to put alleged and everything at the moment, allegedly. Okay. It all goes, I have to add this. NHS England, a limited company, head office in Leeds, work by primary care contracts. The long-term plan. They're fear-mongering. Haven't they been doing that for other things? So therefore, you can imagine people right now cold, homeless, starving. The elderly, disabled, young people, families with babies. People out on the streets, homeless and don't need to be. When the wealth, the very one that claims to be a prime minister, is actually not lawful. I've got the printout that is actually set up as a limited company. All of them are. House of Parliament is a limited company. House of Lords, House of Commons, and all members of Parliament set up as own limited companies. And it is all to do with business and commerce. That's all it is. Finance, business, commerce, law of the sea, maritime law, admiralty law. The International Bar Association's limited company. It's just amazing what you find out. It's illusion. We're living in a matrix world. And it's a lovely empowerment when there's so many wonderful souls out there waking up to the BS. But it's not going to be freedom of speech. You're not going to see the revolution televised. You're going to be every corner, not just England, it's happening everywhere though. But the biggest picture, this has always been the plan. Who are the 13 bloodline families? And when you dig in your history and find this out and see the bloodlines and infiltrated in so much in life, and why the propaganda's always been there and covering up, well, you're either targeted or you're not. You're either Satanists and doing the bidding of the demonics, well, shall we say Satan on earth. It is calling upon his army to fight this spiritual war. Because I'm not perfect, because they've been hammering me with their frequencies on my bloody ears and my head all day and all night yesterday, and they're still doing it right now. So I can't cope being here. I cannot cope being under this roof. Oh, and I try. I didn't get to sleep till 3:30 in the morning yesterday morning, right? And my head is like on fire. And the ice packs and the tones and the frequencies I use to block it out. They're trying to destroy my physical body, so my spirit, my soul, it is not being focused on the true essence of our Creator. I'll add that penny's worth in on top of this article. Now, you're not a Mr. and Mrs. and learn about the truth about who you are, about the birth certificate, the trust bond account. The monetary system comes from the belief system. It's a promise to pay notes. Bills of Exchange Act 1882. And you read up that and see how they created every man and woman, especially, I can only quote about England, lost at sea when the Great Fire of London in England happened to create the fiat currency, you know, and you look at the terms and meaning definitions of words. So what these articles imply, it was being programmed, it's for so long. And so this article just goes about their members and said that if there isn't a government, the terms and conditions of public servants fail to listen to them, they have no option than to launch a prolonged, listen to the words they use, prolonged, you need to read between the lines and all these things, of industrial action reaching to every corner of public life. Right? They want everything automated. There isn't going to be reasonable adjustments with an AI computer system. They're pushing to talk to your AI friend on certain platforms online already. It goes on. The civil servant helps develop and implement public policy. It's not government. I'll cut that word out. As well as providing services to people across the UK. Now get this. Have you ever seen that film Purge? Where they've opened the doors of prisons and let those individuals out, and that could be people that's committed torts, committed common law offences, horrendous things. It goes on to imply employment services. And then how the hell are you, if you're disabled or unemployed, how are you meant to get your payments? Is that going to be automated computer system into your bank? Is that going to be stopped? Because it quotes, those individuals are employed, paying benefits and pensions. What's going to happen with that? Are they going to collapse the economy? Because what's going to be the new gold is your food, your water. Even if it's dried food, right, that you don't have to cook and it's out of a can, it's better than nothing, isn't it? You know? So they're scaremongering. It goes on. It says that the pressure of cost of living, it's orchestrated, allegedly, I have to put. In the shop earlier, right? A small half size of 100 ml bottle of body lotion for me, which cost me £1 4 weeks ago. Guess how much it is? I was ended up paying 1.75, £1.75. That's gone up from £1 to 75p in a week. But and there's other things I noticed shut up within a week. 1 week. And the shop, Poundland, is a company in England. No longer can you get a pound items anymore. So shop around. And I found that these European shops, whether they're run by Muslims, different nationalities, but those shops seem to have things in bulk. You might find some good deals in those shops. So, like, your jars, pickled jars of fruit or veg or something like that. Because these Polish people are very good at that. I've noticed in a couple of their shops. And I haven't had the time or energy at the moment to have a look around myself. There's another shop open and it's worth looking. And especially store up on your salt if you're prepping. Anyway, the article goes on to imply the pressures of cost of living, job cuts, and office closures have meant workers have reached the end of the tethers. Excuse me? Really? How much are they earning per year already? Train drivers will strike again over pay. Nurse, now this is the thing. If you're very poorly, this is the first aid kits you need to get in. And look at natural ways of how to heal as well. And I missed the shop I wanted to go because the stupid idiot where I did go was just absolutely messing me about. So I was not in a good mood and I left. And I've given up on that issue at the moment. Right, it also implies nurses. The Midwifery Council and these men and women that pay a membership fee to another company, and I can't quote, Health something else. I can't remember the name of the company in England. But they pay a fee to get the job title as a nurse. So their quote here, nurses across the UK back strikes and pay dispute. Why are so many workers going on strike? So public servants called fake government, by the way, said it regretted the decision and remained in regular discussions with the unions and their agents, adding the plans were in place to minimise potential disruption if strikes go ahead. The public sector pays are a careful balance. This is what the public generally are paying their wages, by the way. Ordinary men and women that are not working in the public sector are paying through taxation. So why the hell are you paying your taxes if they're going on strike? So it goes on. A careful balance between delivering value for money for the taxpayer, that's a joke, and recognise the importance of public sector workers. That's the biggest joke. Tell me who don't gaslight you, set you up, I tell you. The PCS, which represents workers by several British government departments. Yeah, really? More controlled opposition, if you ask me. Says an average of 86% have balloted members voted for industrial action, the highest percentage vote in the history of union's history. It comes after the fake government announced plans to reduce civil servant jobs by 91% and to cut the redundancy rate for 25%. A string of unions have voted for industrial action in recent months, bringing disruption to industries including transport and the bar. Don't forget, solicitors regulation authorities in the company. So if a man or woman wants to be a lawyer, they have to pay a fee and then get their RA number, SAR number, and trade as a lawyer for most probably independently or for a company. is all business, and the International Bar Association is also a limited company. So, these men and women claim to be a barrister. They have to have a membership fee, and they have those titles after their letters and when they've gone to uni, college, whatever. So don't let it fool you. You can research this. It goes on to Association Society of Engineers and Firemen Union announced on Thursday, which is just gone, and train drivers working for 12 British operators will go on strike. So God forbid there's a fire. I just saw an article in the ambulance fire, police claimed if there's a terrorist incident, they were doing a mock scene. Well, if they're doing a mock scene, preparing for what anything could happen in that regard, God forbid, then they had actors, like as public members, and what they were wearing, the gear was quite impressive. But makes you wonder they're expecting something, because why would you create all these strikes all so close together and also close to December time, and when it's meant to be extremely very cold, dark winter, and how long will it go on for? Hmm? So, has anyone got any torches, lights? The mystery, I tell you. So, they don't want you to go out your towns or cities. They want smart cities. Stay put where you are. Live and work and eat where you are. Use virtual reality. Put your headsets on. It's a bit like the Minority Report movie. Future of AI technology. I'll add that to the mix too. So, 12 British operators are going on strike 26 November 2022. Ongoing overpay. Teachers in Scotland also voted to strike. It follows an announcement by the Royal College of Nursing, which is a limited company, by the way, Wednesday this week just gone, that nurses have voted to walk out. Well, who's going to replace them? Who's going to help support those who really need medical treatment, say, in emergency, in operations or whatever? What's going to happen? You expect people to die? Has it got a backup plan? You don't see anything in this article about that, do you? Making the first time UK, this is what the words they're using. UK-wide strike action has been taken by the RCM members, and get this. They like their numbers, don't they? 106-year history. So you add 6 and 1, make 7. Don't Freemasonry go by numbers and symbolism? Yeah, there's so much deception. Right, I can't get rid of my pop-ups, so bear with me. Now, Labour Party, Conservatives, all these political parties also set up companies, okay? But it quotes a Labour leader said he didn't want to see industrial action, but understands why people are going down that route. And then speaking to the mainstream UK media, you don't trust BBC, do you? But anyway, there's a quote. Claimed Labour's government would resolve issues over pay and staffing, and promises the so it could be a general election, but who knows? Who knows? And then do you really trust the mainstream BBC? That's a day ago. Union fury over 26 percent cut to civil service exit pay. Nurses across UK strikes in pay dispute. So let's see if they got a backup plan for the public. No, it may need services. Let's have a look. Can you see the propaganda in this article already? No, the Royal College of Nursing is a limited company. Can you see anything in the article in the image? Well, I can, but I'll leave it up to the viewer. Right, so they vote to strike, okay? They're expected to start by the end of the year. So nurses in every service in Scotland, it says, because walkout, Royal College Nursing, more than half the hospitals and community teams, but emergency care will still be staffed. Okay, so you got emergency care, but what about care? What you're in a hospital setting, say, God forbid, and what about community care outside of hospital setting? What then? Will that be bed blocking? What then? Nurses in every service in Scotland, Northern Ireland voted for action. In Wales, all but one health board did. But in England, the turnout was too... Right, okay, so let's have a look at this part. But in England, the turnout was too low in nearly half of the NHS trusts for strike action to take place. Right, so they expect it to happen in Northern Ireland, Scotland, but not so much in England. Strike, nurses strike, why NHS is on the brink of the first UK walkout. Well, whereabouts? NHS Foundation Trusts are primary care contracts funded by NHS England. Because all the biomedical data, the new medical data by AI, is remote services. This is very technical, I won't go into it right now. Why are so many workers going on strike? The article says. Anger becomes action, right? Somebody said in the article, nurses have been getting a raw deal for years. Really? You just asked the members of the public that's waiting on years on waiting lists, blocked and denied services, rationing on who's more urgent than not, and then waiting for hours to see a doctor. Oh, then it's just FaceTime on a computer, maybe. Oh my goodness me. Talk about NHS long-term plan. So it goes on. Search for organisation affected in your area without my pop-ups. Pop-ups. Go away. Fucking So let's have a look at the regions. Right. Services and nurses have backed the Royal College of Nursing strike and ballot with nations. Right. NHS. Who's going to run the East Midlands Ambulance Service NHS Foundation Trust? Let's have a look. Okay, who's going to run the services? Northamptonshire Healthcare Foundation Trust. You've got all list of areas. So, Cornwall, makes you wonder. Let's have a look at eastern areas. Wow, it's a lot. So get out of that. Let's click down further. The strike will be the first time UK-wide action by its members. It comes, and I think I've quoted that before. So, the NHS agents working in the system, an average of 4.75 raise this year was the lowest paid getting more. Scotland's offered a flat rate over 2,000 increase, which means a newly qualified nurse will get around about 8% more. It quotes percentages. Representative nurses in the NHS has asked for 5% more. And yeah, but people on disability benefits are not getting a pay rise by that at all. So it gives you an example of salaries. Minimum and maximum salaries in England, 2022-2023. Starting pay band in blue. So you got experienced nurse, specialist nurse, consultant nurse. Look how much they're getting per year. Starting from in between £15,000 in between £13,000. Goes up to 60k a year. You tell me this is coming out of the public purse, and public can't bloody afford it themselves. It claims the members would ensure patients did not come to any harm by continuing to provide urgent emergency care during the strike, so it doesn't say how they're going to do that. This will see services such as intensive care fully staffed, but how they're going to do that? And who by? Are they going to bring in the military? While other services such as cancer care are likely to be given some protection. Do you expect people to die with their bloody planned strikes? But the action will affect routine services, as predicted, planned operations like knee ops, hip replacements, and here you go. Here you go. Do they expect people in crisis? District nursing, say we need specialist care. You need district nurses, say whatever reason or your disabilities, you may need that service. Who's going to replace that? And if you've got a psychological distress, who's going to be in place of that? Is it going to be like, And then it comes after the waiting list for hospital treatment has topped. And look at this, 7 million in England, a record high. The walkout will as much for, it claims in the article, patients as it is for nurses, and staffing shortages already compromising care. They have been making sure. I felt I had no choice but voted yes. Really? See what they do. You saw how much they get. Some of these people get more than those unemployed, no fault of their own perhaps, and also, right, disabled people, the elderly, yeah, and they're moaning they're not getting enough by the public. They want to raise taxes to pay for this. You see, this bubble's going to burst. I'm worried about the risk to patients, so voted no. Good on him. He works in Cornwall. in if you reduce the levels even further with strike action, the only outcome will be patient safety. There's a crisis in the UK regarding nurses, and nursing numbers on wards are at critical levels. That's why you don't get the right treatment. If we strike, what's going to happen to people going into hospitals? Exactly. People in the community? Exactly. It frightens me because the risk is already there. Chief Exec of NHS Confederation, that's in the company, which represents health managers, urged government RCAN to get back to the negotiating table. Last thing anyone wants is a war of abrogation, planning out many months. England Health Secretary, quotes her, is deeply regret that some union members have voted for action. The priority to keep patient safety, any strikes, how they're going to do that. The NHS has tried, tested plans to place and minimise disruption. Ensure emergency services continue to operate. Yeah, I don't care. It's all by bloody design. So, NHS, this is what the UK mainstream media do. What are the key workers paid? It goes on. Why they strike? So you've got all the typical propaganda news items. Oh, for God's sake. Because go and research Against the Grain YouTube channel. And I knew they're hacking in and blocking my channel as per usual. So this is nothing new anyway, this is scaremongering. So just preset, financial reset. And by the way, why is there still a full moon in the sky? I thought full moons ended. Get it again. It's all business and commerce. Warning all planned strikes. And people are distracted. Build bigger hospitals and build more prisons. I think that's in America. You can't even trust there's shape shifting the one entities out there. Ah, yeah, Tribacane. Right, she's quite quiet. The snake in Genesis. It talks about about certain subjects, but 21 Calls of the Illuminati, the committee pre-Hammers 1993, a former gentleman called John Common, to establish one world government, new world order, united church and monetary system under their direction. And it's basically the one world government began to set up its church and foundations in the 1920s and 1930s, for they realised the need for a religious belief inherited in mankind must have an outlet and therefore set up a church body to challenge that belief and direction they desired. Now, to bring about the utter destruction of all national identity, national pride, which is a primary consideration, the concept of one world government to work, to engineer and bring about destruction of religion, especially Christian religion. The ability to control each and every individual with the means of mind control. To create human-like robots and a system of terror which would educate yourself to look and you can research and read up this yourself. I don't need to read it. But anyway, just a short one really. And I know they were routine, you know. Yeah, I thought so. So I'm going to just go into this. Just be aware and be prepared as well. I'm sure there's already America and different people on different platforms already getting this information out. Hacking internet. Live streaming is available at the moment. Don't want live streaming. I'm trying to look at my analyst page. On this particular YouTube platform. Shocking financial events have started to happen on the market a day ago. The markets, I have to meet this one. I'm going to meet this one.
caused by meteor crashes was not being taken seriously. This is not about Hollywood. This is not about movies. This is about ultimately protecting the only planet we know right now to host life, he said. Bridenstine pointed to the meteorite that exploded over Russia in 2013, which had 30 times the energy of the atomic bomb of Hiroshima and injured around 1,500 people. Just 16 hours after the crash, NASA detected an even larger object that approached the Earth but did not hit it, he revealed. Quote, I wish I could tell you these events are exceptionally unique, but they're not, Bernstein said. These events are not rare, they happen. It is up to us to make sure that we are characterizing, detecting, tracking all of the near-Earth objects that could be a threat to the world. According to scientific modeling systems, such events are expected to happen once every 60 years. But Berbenstein pointed out that destructive meteors have crashed on Earth 3 times in the last century. So that's much more often than every 60 years. In 2018, the White House published an action plan that required NASA to detect, track, and characterize 90% of near-Earth objects measuring 140 meters, 460 feet in diameter. But Bernstein admitted on Monday that the space agency had a long way to go to meet that goal. We're only about a third of the way there, he said. We want more international partners that can join us in this effort. We want more systems on the face of the Earth that can detect and track these objects. We want to be able to feed all the data into a single operating system so that ultimately we can have the best, most accurate data that we can possibly obtain. Bernstein warned that failing to invest in such a network could have catastrophic consequences. He continued, a meteor that's 140 meters in diameter is big enough to destroy an entire state in the United States of America, he said, and it's big enough to destroy an entire European country. We know for a fact that the dinosaurs did not have a space program, he added, but we do, and we need to utilize it. So there was another very large meteor detected between Earth and the Sun just the other day, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't go into it because there's several years until they think it will hit Earth, but it could hit Earth within the decade. So there's a lot of rocks out there that we can't see, especially the ones between the Sun and Earth. We're much better at seeing rocks behind the planet or on the opposite side of the Sun. And please remember, in his speech, he reported that NASA picked up a much larger meteor that didn't hit the planet when the meteor hit Russia and injured 1,500 people. That was a very small meteor. I believe it was about 70 feet in diameter. Could you imagine one that was 460 feet in diameter? It would be at least a state killer and a country killer if we're talking European countries. God bless you all. This was a warning right from the chief director over at NASA. He says we need to get busy. We only know about 1/3 of the rocks that are that big, 140 meters, 460 feet in diameter. If we look at rocks smaller than that, we know hardly any information about them. God bless you and yours, folks. It's an awful busy inner solar system, as I've shown you before. Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.
It's just ridiculous. I'm just looking at British Gas Trading Limited Company. Oh, there's the call. There's loads of people on Twitter complaining about them. There's £66 payment. Just adding to this on top of it. British Gas have not paid any payment for October and November. Most people who have billing meters or have their as well as smart meters or pay-as-you-go customers, especially the vulnerable and priority who have been dealt with first. They haven't. They're shambles. In October, and I've only just received mine. I went out yesterday thinking that going to actually the place I could get it top up with Payzone Limited outlet agents. And the mail said, oh, I don't know how to do this with the letter and the barcode. What a faffing joke. So I wasn't able to sort it out. Other people and it says, I've been trying to end this account notifications. And then you just got the same response. We're still waiting for our £66 energy support from October. And this time November. We've called 3 times now, promised the payments on the way. Yeah, that's the same. Absolutely the same. Absolutely come through the post, but I can't even. Why wouldn't you let my disabled son, a new first-time customer, have or buy a smart monitor? I wouldn't trust the smart meters. Be careful about that. You can send the previous house. Yeah, discrimination is right. So I'm just looking through people's comments about this cost of living towards your only electricity account, mind you, because they want everyone to do the electricity, the energy. These big corporations are making profit out of the miserable ordinary people. Like, oh, so liberated. That's the only reason I was going to try and go back out. I don't know if I'm going to do it now because it's late in the morning. Get if I can stay awake. Just wrap up because my head is radiated and I'm just trying to rest it up. Because let me look at the calendar actually. How far away is the 18th? You have to wait to get some charge up on my bloody phone. 2 o'clock in the morning. If I'm going to go and do it now, I'm going to do it now, sort of thing. Let's look at calendar. Then I'm sleeping all day. Wow, that's next Friday. Wow. Oh, strike action. And then you got more postal strikes coming in the first week in December. I'll have to go out, unfortunately, to wrap up really warm and take it slow. There's a place that's open 24 hours. I'll pop there after for coffee and go home. So I'm counting the weeks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm looking at December time. I don't do Christmas, New Year, because the cost of living by year 2030, 2023 is going to skyrocket. So that's only next week. So the news article was yesterday. Oh, my head hurts really bad. 1 week's notice for strike action. Public sector. Let's see if there's any feed or news pop up. Let's see if I'll get that up. Going to different platform. So there's any pop up news items, different platform. Sometimes there is in the UK. Best before news. Well, UK version anyway. The enemy is the Baphomet, Freemasons. When you know certain distractions, being part of all means free, it's virtue free Freemasonry and Jewets, you know. Just trying to get some up-to-date information. Yeah, United Kingdom, this is ready for strike action. Let's have a look. So Wednesday this week just gone, they announced the strike action before the end of the year. 25 nurses. Wow, they left the Nursing Midwife Council over the last year. Situation created problems in the UK. Health system, poor pay, claim shortages affecting people's safety. There are 47,000 unfilled nurses' posts in England, NHS alone. Wow. Nurses demanding that UK passes a budget to improve wages and make real investments in the health sector. That's more. There's a Twitter. Look at this. Commercial moments. What's about? About salaries. Bear market turns one. Drop out flies in the crypto market. I'm looking for USA really.
Hi, so I actually got my veneers and they're actually on right now. They look so real and beautiful. I love them, feel comfortable.
All right, guys, you already know that because the elections were taking place over the course of the last couple of hours, they were going to keep the news extremely quiet. They want you to believe that everybody is so invested into what is happening that there's nothing else going on in the world. But in reality, we are suffering a financial meltdown, a collapse of finance like anything we have ever seen before. We have unrest popping up at different countries around our planet. We have violent crime increasing in the United States of America. Problems. We have all of these things happening, under the umbrella of a world at war. We're watching video of a rain of Molotov cocktails in front of the parliament in Greece. Tens of thousands of people are demonstrating against the soaring prices and inflation in that country. We have a writer writing in who is a U.S. Army Special Forces veteran to a news outlet. He served in Afghanistan and Iraq. He's also the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of...
Okay, and before going any further, Paul's veteran survivor's voice. One day ago, shocking financial events have started. Market crash. Financial event just started. It's going to be worse than 2001, 2008, the Great Depression of 2022, and the year 2023. That's why they're going on strike. They want to crash the system.
Defense. He's warning reporting outlets and governments that an EMP will be used by Russia. Fitch Ratings is continuing to report on monetary policy tightening. They say that the Fed is going to dampen or reduce consumer demand. This will result in lower job growth and higher unemployment in the United States of America. You see,
that will be England too.
Federal Reserve is not there to help you. They are going to reduce demand. They are going to make unemployment skyrocket. And then they're going to come in and change the rates. They're only going to do this to better their own pocketbooks. China's invasion of Taiwan may happen in just the next couple of months, according to the Taiwanese president, who says that this is not a warning that the world can take lightly. The European Central Bank is saying that inflation will hover around its present level of 11% over the course of the next few months. It will begin to decline, they say, next year. But on average, headline and core inflation will remain very high into the foreseeable future. China's army must be ready for military action, according to the president. The world is undergoing global changes. They say that these are happening more rapidly than ever in history. It is necessary, he says, to concentrate all efforts on military affairs, to rapidly improve the skills of the military, and to ready it to fight America in war. The Pakistan former prime minister says that four very powerful people plotted to assassinate him very recently. We have recent events in every sector. In the tech sector, massive layoffs, stocks down through the bottom. In retail, consumers are hurting more than ever because of soaring inflation. In real estate, we're seeing prices and availability, and everything across the board falling at the fastest pace since 2001, 2008, and 2011. In industrial, we have manufacturing activity dropping through the bottom. And in financials, they're just firing everybody. This is just the beginning. We're going to see more and more financial crisis events in the next couple of weeks. With winter rapidly approaching, we're seeing reports that Russia is mobilizing its troops and giving them expired food, rubber boots, flimsy equipment, mats to sleep on, and lightweight sleeping bags. You have the opportunity right now to fit your family, fit your group more heavily and better than major armies. Get sleeping bags today. Get level 3A bulletproof gear today. Get face shields today. Get good backpacks today. Get food. Get long duration emergency food today. You have the chance to do all of these things. The people who are being sent off to war don't have that chance. They're at the mercy of whatever their commanders give to them. Fit your family out right now. We now have a recession with rising interest rates and falling housing prices. You want to know what's going to happen next? We're going to see unemployment skyrocket. We're seeing the first wave of layoffs right now. Where are these people going to go? They were used to having their lattes. They were used to having their 6-hour naps on company time. And now they're not going to be able to go to another company and get that same thing. They're going to be saying, would you like fries with that? They're going to be asking people if they want paper or plastic to be bagging their groceries in. The fact of the matter is, there's nowhere that these people can go that are going to soak up the number of people who are being laid off. There's no catching system here for this financial crisis. There's no buffers. There's no fire breaks. It is falling out today. So next, we're going to see bigger layoffs with spreading beyond tech companies. It's going to go to retail next. The only way that inflation is going to come down is severe recession. We have confidence in the U.S. housing market hitting its lowest on record, according to Fannie Mae. We have reports that a Russian aircraft secretly transported large amounts of cash, 2 models of munitions, a British NLAW anti-tank missile and a U.S. Javelin missile, as well as a Stinger anti-aircraft missile. This was being transported from Russia to Tehran. This is just a couple of weeks ago. They say that the purpose here is to have Iran reverse engineer these tools. Russia's going to finance it. China's going to finance it. And then they're going to turn around and use America's best equipment on America. Guys, this big war is coming. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, this big war is coming. America is the dog that tried to keep all... Have you ever watched how a dog pack really works? A dog pack, a wolf pack, there's only a visible idea of symbionts. There's only an idea of cohesiveness, of togetherness, of family. That's just a very stand way back. They're like, oh, look, that's a family. We call it a pack, right? That's what America and the Western world, that's what Europe, that's what Australia, that's what all these other countries that were backed by NATO and with NATO looked like from far, far away. They looked like a pack. They looked like a family. The fact of the matter is, once that lead dog gets sick, there's an immediate vying for control. The other dogs will attack it, and every other dog will take part in attacking that one-time lead dog, the family leader, the pack leader. At best, that dog, that wolf, gets ostracized, gets moved outside of the pack, will go and suffer because it can't live without the pack, will suffer itself in the forest for hopefully months, maybe even years, and then it will die off. That's America right now. America is that one-time leading pack member. Now being challenged by Russia, being challenged by China, being challenged by Iran, being challenged by North Korea, being challenged by every major, Saudi Arabia, look what's happening there, being challenged by every other dog. It has two choices. It can fight to the death, or it can go quietly into the night, never to be a part of that pack again. Maybe it'll get to live out a couple of years. Sorry for all of the apologists and all of the hoorah-rah, America is always going to be the greatest individuals. This is nothing against America. I love the land that I live on. That was...
Kinesis is an entirely new way to invest, with all the tools you need to make your money work better.
Land that I live on that was unrightfully, unlawfully, murderously stolen from other people, but I love that I can have my family here right now. So don't be all like, oh, you're anti-patriotic. Patriotic is about as good as saying, yes, please, can I give you my tax money? Yes, please rob me again. Yes, please take from me again. Yes, please send my children off to war. No, that's not what this is about. This is about reality. Just how things are going. I have family in service right now. I have family in law enforcement. I have friends in service, friends in law enforcement. They will give their lives for other people. A lot of people won't do that. So it's not about that, but they understand that they're just taking orders. They understand that they're working for rich and powerful people who want to create either a visage of or a viewing of what their rich and powerful reality is, or they want to shape reality. You shape reality with power, money, and control. But moving back a little bit into our financial situation, credit card debt is at a record $930 billion as they rob from us. Fastest rising interest rates in history are sending us into a depression. Mortgage demand is at its lowest since 1997. How old are you right now? How old were you in 1997? Almost 30 years ago. How old were you? That's where we're back to, except things aren't great. TV's not great. Morals aren't great. This empire is falling. It already started to fail. Bond markets are on track for their worst record year loss since 1931. How old were you in 1931? I would venture to guess you weren't. Tech stocks are trading like they're about to fall through the 2001 financial crisis. This is not going to end well for anyone involved. 42% of America's youth are dealing with mental health conditions. The new survey is finding that they are saying massive mental health problems are on the horizon. It's out at traffic and data and people who are looking for mental health situational control. They say that 3/4 of Americans under the age of 25 say that what is happening right now has negatively impacted their mental health. 90% believe that this generation is not set up for success. You see, they're waking up to the fact that this is not a land of the free and a home of the brave. It's a land of control in a home where you pay taxes until they take your home away. They say 75% feel that they're at a disadvantage. 42-year-olds and under are at a massive disadvantage. 57%, almost 6 out of 10, take medication to alter their mental health. 40% attend therapy issues once a week. Don't get me wrong, I'm very pro therapy, right? I'm not necessarily pro chemopharmaceuticals.
This app makes me over 500.
Just turn this down. So there you go. Signing up for now.